Survivor's ready. Go!
Travis Spoken.
Boston Rob and Amber are gonna do it.
This is a business trip, as I like to say.
You, Brad Culpepper.
I'm tired of you and the fucking chicken.
You can call me the puppet master. They can be my little puppets.
It's not like you're making a deal with the devil here.
You get to milk your own milk, I guess.
Who the hell voted for me?
Chicken.
We got enough rocks here, too. We could build a pretty decent shelter just using rocks.
I'm supposed to talk glamour to you.
You understand that better?
Direct from Hobart, it's time for the only Survivor podcast in Australia dedicated to Survivor, bringing you all the latest interviews, episodes, and opinions from the greatest reality show on the planet. It's Survivor Oz, and here's your host, Ben Waterworth.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Survivor Oz, Australia's #1 TV and film podcast, as we come to you for a special episode, a random episode, but a special one at that, as we sit down, or stand up, I don't know, maybe we're doing both, where we talk about the results from a little poll we had during the month of January, the Ultimate Survivor Fan Survey for 2016. Every single year, we generally get in January and ask you to vote for the top 25 of something. We've had the top 25 episodes, top 25 moments, top 25 one-time players. But this time, we thought we'd do something different. We'd gauge the fans' thoughts and find out what you think of Survivor, the current state of Survivor, and as well as looking towards the future as to what you think it holds. And joining me on this episode to chat about these results and whatever else we feel like talking about, it is a man who likes to vote when he is alone. It is Mr. Noah Groves. Noah, welcome back to Survivor Oz.
Thank you. We are breaking new grounds with this episode. So much new information is going to be brought forth from the 300 or so people that voted. I don't know how many people voted. 800 or so people. So, yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here because I've been dying to know the answers to this poll of the 2,000 or so people that voted in it. I'm very excited to hear what the ultimate poll brings us. So yeah, this is really exciting, breaking stuff here.
I've never heard you so excited before. This is fascinating.
I can't wait.
Neither can Zachary Chong. He's the only one who's asked about where these results are. I think people forgot we even did this.
He's at his computer waiting for the results.
He has been. He's like, where are they? Where are the results? I want to know how old people are who voted these polls. Well,
last year, this time, we ranked every single freaking Survivor player. This time, we're asking people how old they are.
How quick the mighty have fallen. But, we're excited to bring you these results, all the same. Nearly 900 people took part in this survey, and some very interesting results. Some results that I guess were to be expected, some that I wasn't necessarily expecting, and all of these Noah has absolutely no idea about, because I haven't shared these with anyone, have I, Noah? I've been a bit of a bastard, to be honest.
To be honest, I did the poll on the first day, and a lot has happened since then, and I can't really remember any of the questions, so this is a fresh watch for me. I'm very excited for this. Well,
I actually, yeah, if you had retaken the poll at the end of the month, you could have changed your gender, so it would have been interesting to see if that would have affected the results.
It's now.
Yeah, sorry about that. So basically we had...
How blindsided were you by some of these answers?
Well, there are a couple that perhaps I really wasn't expecting there to be such a high majority of them. So there are a few, and there's a couple here that are a lot closer than perhaps I was anticipating. But yeah, 48 questions we had in this. 46 of them were just sort of opinion-based, really, on various different things. And then the last two, we just wanted to find out what your favourite season was and your favourite player, which differentiates to our Oscar polls in the middle of the year, where we ask you to vote for who you think the greatest is. This is your favourite. So at the end of this, we're going to do a bit of results and find out who the most popular players are, according to at least the people who took this poll. Now, you hear yourself thinking, 48 questions, fuck me, they're going to be here for 48 hours. Well, we're going to skim over these a lot, because there's really not a lot to be discussed on some of these, so perhaps you'll be a little bit pleased to know that. And also, of course, if you are getting this directly from iTunes or have bypassed our website, well, shame on you, because it's very hard to put that website together. Ryan has done a good job turning it into something fresh. But also, you can go to survivoroz.com, find the article, and you can see these in visual form in pretty little graphs with lines and numbers. So if you are so well inclined to do that, yes, exactly. That's the reaction I was hoping to hear. You can do that too. So just going through these, with the first question we asked, how old are you? No, what did you answer for this one? I'm intrigued.
Well, I thought of answering 20 to 25, but I thought I was feeling about 40 that day, so definitely 40.
Well, going through
No, I'm
this...
interested in these answers.
Well, the majority of people, and look, we're saying this is obviously a very small selection of the Survivor community. So while we would like to say this is representative of the entire Survivor fan base, we'll send this to Jeff Probst and Mark Burnett, and they can take what they will, introduce green buffs, whatever. Do what you want to do, guys. This, I think, is reflective enough of the Survivor fan base that we can take this with a grain of salt. So if we are to take these results as the truth, then the majority of Survivor fans in this world are aged between 15 and 30. 76% of people within that little age bracket. Our next best then was between 31 and 45 with 10%. Interestingly enough, though, I will say only 0.8% of our respondents to this poll are 61 and over. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Noah, I thought maybe we'd have a few more Rudies listening.
Or Joe's.
Or Joe's.
Joe Del Campo.
Exactly.
So some of these people weren't even born when the show started.
Well, the
majority of our listeners were not born.
Well, 15 to 30, some of them were, but between the youngest group there, 0 to 14, 0 to 14, 7.29%. So,
Survivor is a hit amongst the 3-year-olds.
they love it. And the 0-year-olds just jump straight onto the computer.
Yeah. But they only care about the players like Joe and Ozzy, though.
Exactly.
They don't get into the real strategy.
Just the hipster trends, let's be honest. Now, going through the quick. So our second one, how many years have you been... This is the shittest episode ever. How many years have you been watching Survivor? Now, this was actually kind of close. We had 4...
How many years have you been watching Survivor?
Since the beginning, Noah Groves. So the options here, less than 1... Between 1 to 5, between 6 and 10, between 11 and 15 years, and Since the Beginning. So Since the Beginning actually did come out on top, 28%, just ahead of only between 1 and 5 years, which I found fascinating. The lowest, though, 2.85%, less than 1. So for the most part, people have been watching this show between 1 and 16 years. So no real surprises there, I guess. You don't have to comment on all of these, Noah. You're just here to keep me company, really. Now, the majority of fans is not to be not expected. 64% come from either the US or Canada. So I'm going to say out of those 64%, probably about 60% come from America and 4% from Canada. I'm only kidding. We know there's a lot of Canadians out there, including Colin. Australia and New Zealand was next, 18%. Then a lot from Europe, 9%. And sadly, only 0.68% come from Africa. So, actually only 6 people who took part in our poll listened to us from Africa. But it's still diverse, Noah. We had every single part of the world represented on this poll, so there were no zeros.
It's huge in Botswana.
Oh.
The Botswanians love it.
Absolutely love Survivor.
The Botswanian 3-year-olds, they get all over this shit.
They come out of the womb in Botswana and it's like, yeah, what's Survivor?
Survivor.
Survivor is the best. I have no idea if that's how people from Botswana sound. I've never met somebody from Botswana. Except all those fans who listen to our show. Now, are you male or female? Well, 85% of our listeners are male. So, girls, pick it up. We need some more female watchers of Survivor, okay? Like, that can't be true. Surely, Noah.
Man. That surprises me and doesn't surprise me. It surprises me because there are a lot more male listeners, but I thought there's a fair few Survivor. Of course, our odds is like 16 to 4 or something like that. So maybe it's not to be 18 to 2. So maybe it's not to be so unexpected. But 85 is a huge number.
It is quite a big discrepancy, and that's one of these ones that I wasn't really expecting, to be honest. Next question: what is the main way that you watch Survivor? Now, this I'm pleased with our people who took this poll. Pleased with the people who watch Survivor because 56% of people legally watch it when it airs on TV. So good on you, world. Considering that 65% come from America, well, you can watch it and Canada. Sorry, you can watch it when it's on TV at the same time. Second though, 15.95% download it. However, we didn't stipulate whether that was legal or illegal. The lowest percentage people watch it on DVD or other. See, more people watch it via other methods than on DVD. So
Other, yeah.
VHS, clearly. So for taking DVD, Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Exactly. We're thinking the same.
Well, that's kind of an interesting question though, because it kind of has the Game of Thrones, Walking Dead type thing, where you can't really leave it because you're going to be spoiled on who was voted out, who died, or whatever. So it is kind of one that's helpful within the whole binge watch later type thing. So good on them.
What's interesting here, live streaming online, which is a method that I know some people we know do when it's airing at the same time in America. 8.77% do that. So no, that's not just obviously here in Australia. I'm sure people in Europe and Botswana do that as well. So, that's how they do it. Now, we asked a few questions in relation to social media and sort of, how often do you talk about it? Now, this is one of these ones that I honestly thought would be a little bit higher for the daily perspective. So how often do you use social media to talk about Survivor? So we had daily, several times a week, once a week, several times a month, monthly, a couple times a year, or never. And several times a week took the crown, 20.39, closely followed by never. So in this age of social media, having to always talk about, hey, I just did a poo and I talked to my friend in Botswana, 19.7% of people don't like talking about Survivor now. Why don't they like talking about Survivor?
I would expect like about 7 million of the watchers of Survivor would be that. But that surprises me that someone who would take an online poll, because how the hell did they discover the poll unless they visit our site? But most of it comes, I guess they don't have to technically be writing, but that does surprise me a lot, considering how crazy Survivor fans are online.
Maybe they're ashamed to talk about Survivor. Oh, no, I was watching Game of Thrones, not Survivor. Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Loved it. So this one, I guess, wasn't that surprising. How often do you use social media to engage with current and or former contestants? The majority here, 36.5%, said never. So the majority of people who engage on social media,
boring.
They don't want to talk to survivors. Oh no, they're just on my TV. I don't need to talk to them.
Well, they're either boring or they're normal. I'm going to go with probably normal.
Well, the lowest, only 6% say daily. So Zachary Chong, you're in the 6%. I'm just engaging with all the survivors out there. Now,
does engaging mean following them, or does that mean talking to them?
It means getting engaged to them.
Only 6% of fans get engaged to survivors.
Dear Dan Lou, will you marry me? Yes, Ben, this is Dan Lou.
I'm Dan Lou and I'll marry you.
This one, how many Survivor contestants have you met in person? A whopping 86% said none, while only 0.57% said more than 100. So good to see. Big Mike, thanks for taking part of our poll. Good job. Do you feel the show engages with fans? Again, if you think we're rushing through these, full results are on our website here, because we realise there are other answers. We didn't only ask 2 options.
And there's 48 freaking questions.
Exactly. It takes us 3 hours to talk about 18 contestants on a new season. Do you feel the show engages with fans enough via both social media and other platforms? Now, before I give the results here, do you personally feel that CBS and Survivor does enough to engage with the show, engage with the fans through social media and other platforms?
Well, they had hashtag Totos last season, and they've also had hashtag cottage cheese in the past, and
Joker.
Let's not forget hashtag Survivor Breakdown. It's kind of an I would say probably more than the average show, because they do have the hashtags, which are just a complete mockery, but then they also have the official Twitter, and you've got Jeff Probst tweeting to fans, and he's asking fans questions on the reunion, even though they're all ridiculous questions. And you've got Ponderosa videos online, and they've got like official hidden scenes and everything like that. So they could probably do more, but as a whole, I would probably say yes compared to do you really see that with NCIS or anything like that?
Well, didn't you
Probably,
see
I'd think.
hashtag murder lol? I don't watch it, to be honest, or hashtag murder CIS.
I've never seen an episode in my life. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
I used to watch JAG, but not NCIS. Well, 62% said yes, they think it engages enough with the fans, so whopping majority there. 17% said unsure. I really didn't want to put unsure / undecided in, because I hate seeing those like fan polls like, who do you think would be the best Prime Minister? 62% said Malcolm Turnbull, 30% said Bill Shorten, and 20 were unsure. Like, why would you take a poll if you're unsure? Like, I'd only take a poll if I was sure.
Just take a minute to think it through, come back tomorrow when you're sure, and answer the poll.
Well, maybe that's the best way to get elected. Change your name to Unsure, and then you
Unsure.
can get lots of votes.
Is your first name and last name is Shaw. Prime Minister
Unsure
Shaw.
is the Prime Minister of
Unsure.
Botswana.
Prime Minister Unsure.
Actually sounds
let's
like
not talk about
yeah.
name.
Anyway,
Sometimes I am unsure though. I probably answered unsure with that one. Just sometimes in life, you just don't know.
just the Unsure. Click every single one. Do you feel the show provides enough behind the scenes and bonus footage via its website and other platforms? Well, 53% of you said yes, you think they do. 36% said no.
You greedy sod.
I honestly, I was a bit surprised by that one, because I think maybe they could do a little bit more. I mean, admittedly,
Really?
they do a lot, but I don't know. How many secrets?
There's like 20 bonus confessional things the next day.
Well, I want 30. Like,
Well, the one thing I want is Ponderosa videos for the pre-mergers.
that would be good. Yeah, that would be.
What more do you think they could do?
Well, they
I think they do a fair bit.
They don't seem to do as many, like, Jeff Probst. I think it was during China. They did, like, Jeff Probst behind the scenes, like, Jeff Probst in his wardrobe, and Jeff Probst,
Yeah, that would.
you know, just like Jeff Probst's diary. Like, I don't know. I'm interested by sort of the production side of it. And I mean, like, I know we all sort of mocked the Worlds Apart, footage with Dan and all that, but that was just fascinating to see unedited footage of Survivor. Like, I'd like to see more of that. I think that's fascinating to watch. But I guess it's dead
I
boring.
want to see more emoticon CBS videos.
God. More Jeff Probst isms videos.
Just so
No
much good
emojis.
use CBS employees. Like,
I want to be the
They're
person
really
who
only-
gets hired to write an emoji video. Oh, goodness. How often do you watch extra scenes and bonus footage provided online by CBS? Well, considering that everybody said they think that doesn't do enough, the majority said most of the time during the season, 35.65. Well, second most was as soon as it comes available. So people think it does enough because they don't watch it as much as like 26%.
you could just watch the extra ones that you haven't watched, and there's the answer to the last question.
Exactly. Good point. How many Survivor charity events have you attended in the last 5 years? Well, I kind of expected this to be very one-sided, and it was. 95% said none. So, Gillian, everybody else out there, take it on.
Julian and Billy were the other 5%.
Take it on the road. Like, help people out. Interestingly, again, Big Mike, thanks for taking our poll, more than 10. He said 3 people voted that way. So there. But our next
Billy
question,
Garcia.
follow up. Would you attend charity events featuring Survivor contestants if one was close to you? Well, 78% said yes. So clearly a lot of people would. But again, 16% said unsure.
Well, it depends on the weather.
Noah, there's a charity event right next door to you in Snug. Will you go to it? I don't know. What am I doing?
Rainy. I was going to eat a cupcake.
I was going to sleep in tomorrow.
I don't know.
I'm going to Skype my Botswana.
I'm really unsure about this. Well, it depends on who's going. If Billy Garcia's there, then I'll go.
If Mike Barassi's going, are you going?
Sign me up.
Dan Lou's there to get engaged. Now, this one offended me slightly. How often do you listen to Survivor podcasts and other fan shows? Well, the majority was several times a week, 25%, while daily came in at about 4th. So, We need to do it. 9, actually.
Well, we don't release episodes daily.
Well, in the entire month. I actually had somebody email me today going, "Oh, Ben, has your iTunes feed changed again? I haven't seen an episode updated since December." And I'm like, well, that's because we haven't done one since December.
Yes, I think it's wrong. It's stuffed up.
Yeah,
all of our January episodes are gone. All those interviews we did with Second Chance
Oh,
Cards.
and Colleen Haskell, where did that one go? But yeah, so 25%. Daily, only 10%. I nearly was going to do a question on this poll, which is your favourite Survivor podcast, but I knew we wouldn't win, so...
We would be fifth.
That's why, like, when it comes to our Oscars, I don't actually include Survivor Oz in the best Survivor media. Not because I think we will win, I think because we won't win, and that will be embarrassing. Can't even win our own award.
What's your favourite Survivor podcast besides Rob has a podcast, Survivor Talk with D&D, The Historians? Your options are Survivor Oz and The Tribe. Still would lose.
Still lose.
Still would definitely lose.
Oh, goodness. Do you feel social media... This one actually surprised me that it was as high as it was. Do you feel social media is a positive or negative when it comes to a show such as Survivor? 71% said it was a positive. Now, I don't know if I agree with that.
I tick negative from memory.
Yeah, I also would have ticked negative because I feel that social media influences seasons very much with the negative. I mean, go back to Worlds Apart, go back to Caramoan. Like, there's a lot of social media aspects that can be a real negative on Survivor. So, that's what
30 people agree with.
Well, what's interesting is that there's a bunch of people who don't talk about Survivor on social media, yet they think it's a positive.
Oh, well, they would surely have to click unsure because they're not there for it. That's when unsure really deserves to be there.
Make up your mind, people. Stop bagging out our
You
listeners.
put this poll on and they're just like, you're wrong! Why'd you answer that? You were supposed to answer the other one.
Typical Ben Waterworth. Do you think contestants from the season that is airing at the time should be banned using social media as it airs? Well, in all fairness, we only had, San Juan del Sur where that came into effect and seems to have dropped away. 67% said no, they don't think people should be banned, and I'd probably agree with that. Let them talk about it. As long as they're not boiling, why not?
As long as it's not like the Dirty 30, and no disrespect to the Dirty 30, but that was a bit overboard.
Bit OTT. Now this, I would probably say, this was the most surprising answer out of all of these questions. Would you continue to watch Survivor with a different host if Jeff Probst left?
I want to hear this.
67% of people said yes. And only 7% said no. 24% said unsure. Now, love Jeff to bits. I'm one of these ones. I mean, I'd still watch it. Maybe this is where people are going like, well, I would watch it and give it a chance. But, to me, 32 seasons in, Jeff Probst essentially is Survivor. So I thought that would be... I just thought that would maybe a little bit closer than such a big gap. But,
I think... Yeah, it's kind of funny because he gets so much shit. And then if he went... Bring back Jeff Probst. That's probably why social media is a bad influence on Survivor. I clicked yes. It would be upsetting, but we would live with it.
Get rid of bloody whoever is... I can't think of somebody that would be funny for that joke.
Get rid of Rove.
Get rid of Noah Groves. And this one's a slightly interesting.
Survivor's ready.
This episode sucks. I don't hate this season. Do you think Jeff Probst holds too much influence on the game of Survivor? This was a lot closer. 48% said no. 40% said yes. So, bit of a...
I'm unsure.
You're unsure? You're in the 11%. So,
that was me.
Now, this is a win for the unsure.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I think he does to an extent, but I think he does it in a very clever way. I don't think he openly goes out to rig anything, but
I also think he is the face for every producer, because whenever something happens on Survivor, the social media people are so quick to say, oh, I can't believe Jeff Probst did that. And he is an executive producer, but so is other executive producers of Survivor.
All those famous ones that we all know off the
John
top.
and Gary
And Frank.
and Bruce Redford or whoever that guy killed
And
his
Jenny,
wife
because women can be executive producers
for. Jenny,
too.
yeah. Jenny goes on by. She's the best producer.
Brilliant. Just so good.
So I feel like Jeff is kind of the face of them, and he cops a lot of it when it's probably not always his decision.
It's kind of like, the director of a movie will get shit if it's bad when... or an actor when they're only speaking lines.
And really, it was the catering, because if that lunch was better, they would have had a much better performance.
If they had a nicer quiche, they would have been better. I read that from Halle Berry after Catwoman, so just saying.
That was a direct quote.
That was a direct quote.
Nicer keys. That would have been better.
Wouldn't have won the Razzie. Now, do you think men or women are better players of Survivor? What would you answer for this? What did you answer for this? I nearly didn't put the unsure point. I nearly was just going to put men, women to see how that would turn out, but I did put the unsure.
Well, you would probably say, if you were thinking of it statistically wise, then you would say men, because more men have won Survivor.
That is true. But 47% were unsure. But 29% did say men and 23% did say women. So there's only, 49 votes separating that. So fairly close. What period of Survivor do you believe was the best? Now, I typically did this, of course, to coincide with the article that I wrote about the three eras. Now, so we separated this old school, seasons 1 to 8, middle school, seasons 9 to 20, and new school, 21 to 31. Now, first of all,
Can I guess?
Well, you can guess, and I also I want you to tell me what you would have voted for.
I actually voted for middle school. Ooh! They say as they listen to this show, which I know no one else voted for, except for Billy. My guess would be old school, followed by middle school, followed by new school.
Well, you would be very, very wrong, my friend, because middle school took the crown. 46%. New school.
Oh, what?
New school was second, 34%, and only 19% said old school. So,
Geez, send me to Exile Island. I'm blindsided.
well, all these people have been watching since the beginning. They don't like it from the beginning. They like it in the middle.
That is the big upset of the episode. That's really surprising, because I always thought old school had that kind of, not just nostalgia, but that kind of just was held on a pedestal. And I thought people kind of looked down on middle school because of things like Cook Islands and Fiji and Guatemala and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, there you go. And also, I guess, we've said middle school 9 to 20, so if they're lumping Heroes villains into that, then I guess that takes a lot. If we made that 10 to 19, I'm sure it would be a little bit different. But still,
I voted middle school. I like middle school.
Still,
I thought I was the only one.
Well, I voted old school, and I'm just shocked that that's at the bottom. So there you go. What type of season do you prefer? All new players, all returning players, or mixture of new and returning players? Well, all new players wins 45%. All returning players second, 38%, and a mixture. Only 15. How many times have you applied to be on Survivor? 79% said never. Next best was
really interesting.
1 to 9, 13%, and the bottom one was 10 to 14 times, with more than 20 coming in the third, 5.69%. So
more than 20. Oh,
poor people.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. They'll run out of people eventually. Do you think Survivor should?
They picked Dan after 29 times.
And Troy's, and he applied like 1,000 million times. Do you think Survivor should open up casting to people outside of the USA? 59% said yes. 30% said no. 10 said no. I said no. I think it's the American version. Keep it to the Americans. Definitely. And I'm saying
so many people in America.
Well, it's the third largest population in the world, and I'm saying this is somebody that is not American. So,
If it was like a twist, like America versus Canada, maybe, but not if it's like, here's the one random Botswanian, because they would be known as the Botswanian. They wouldn't be known as just a contestant. Like, It would be a gimmick thing.
And
so if it was like a a country versus a country, or if it was like Survivor World or something with one person from a different country or something, maybe. But no.
But you would have like, you know, alliances and that based purely on your countries. Like, I'm not going to work with a New Zealander, but I'll probably work with like a British person. Like, you know,
It doesn't seem like a good PR thing to be doing, really.
Exactly. This one was interesting. How many international versions of Survivor outside of the US version have you watched? 56% said none. 33% said 1 to 4. 1% said 5 to 10, while 7% said more than 10. Noah, you voted for more than 10. I know you love the Botswanian Survivor.
Yeah, I don't really understand. Well, they probably speak English in Botswana, actually, but I think I was the middle one. But yeah, geez, they definitely must be bilingual to be able to watch more than 10.
Well, I've only ever watched the Australian version. I've never watched any other versions, so there you go.
I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4. I've watched 8. Was that category 1 or 2?
No, that was between 5 and 10. You're in the bottom, so you're a bit out there. Which format of Final Tribal Council do you prefer? Final 2 or Final 3? Probably a little bit closer here than I thought it would be, but Final 2 wins it.
Oh, really?
55%, 44% said Final 3. So have we had Final 3 overtake Final 2s by now? I think we have, haven't we?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
If you asked me how many, I wouldn't tell you. That surprises me. I thought it would be 95 to 5 or something like that.
Just off the top of my head, so we had the first 12, that's 14, and then we had 15. So we've had 15 Final 2s and 16 Final 3s, if I'm thinking really quickly with that.
I'm coming around on Final 3. I used to hate on it like everyone else, but I really don't care.
I'm still Final 2. Very pro Final 2. This one surprised me. Should the fan favourite award return? 69% said yes. I thought this was fairly unpopular. 25% said no, and 4% said unsure. Well, it's been what? When was the last time we had it? Blood vs. Water? Caramoan? Yeah.
It's just, let's award Joe $100,000. Yes. Let's award Aussie $100,000.
Well, Joe
would sprint's money.
Joe would win the next one too, so it's clear.
Yeah.
Should
Joe.
Now, some of these ones were interesting. So these were kind of like the strongly agree, disagree, blah, 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 blah. So Survivor casts reflect a wide variety of different Americans. So strongly agree, neither agree or disagree or strongly disagree.
Strongly agree.
Well, 40% said agree. And only 24% said strongly agree, while 2% said strongly disagree. So, okay.
Oh, let's not touch that one.
This one's quite a similar question. Survivor casts diverse players from a wide variety of backgrounds, locations, lifestyles, and ethnicities. 39% said agree. 24% said strongly agree. While 2%, again, strongly disagreed. Phew.
Who are these people?
Who are you? Who is she? Download 007. Jeff Probst is the best possible host for Survivor. Noah, what would have you said for this one?
I said yes.
You said, was that strongly agree, neither agree, or disagree?
Well,
disagree,
actually, I probably said agree. I don't know if I said strong, but I probably said agree.
Well, 1.14% said strongly disagree, but 61% strongly agreed. So all those people who would still watch it after he's gone also think that he's the best possible host for Survivor.
We're really breaking down. I thought all these Jeff Probst answers would be way different than what they are.
Yeah, I know.
People are all closet Jeff fans.
Yeah, good on you, people. Leave Jeff alone. Survivor is too heavily focused on strategy and not enough on the people. This one actually was quite close. 27% said agree. Next best was 24% disagree. So most people agree that it is too heavily focused on the strategy and not enough on the people, while there's also a large proportion who disagree with that. What do you think, Noah? Do you think it's too heavily focused on strategy and not enough on the people anymore?
Unsure.
Well, that would be neither agree or disagree.
Is that an answer? I'd probably click that. It is but at the same time, it's like with the people who love Jeff Probst but would still watch it. It's like, yeah, it is too focused on the strategy, but I'm not complaining and I'm still watching. So it's kind of like a,
Yeah.
Is that a category?
Yeah, that was the hidden category. Didn't you see it?
What do you think?
I think it's I think it's a lot focused on the strategy now than it used to be, but is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. It's the development of the game. You know, it's any sport.
Less challenges, I say.
Yeah, less challenges.
Challenges are dumb.
You're over challenges?
Yeah, nowadays, just have one of them and make it 5 minutes and get on with some better stuff. Less challenges. Is that a category? I'm over them.
Just pull out a name out of a hat. You won immunity. All right, no challenge.
Yeah. They should just get on with it.
Just have a season, no challenges, only idols. There you go. Hey.
Yes.
That's going to happen. We discovered that. Green buffs all over again.
It's just, what are we doing today? Oh, we're balancing. Oh, okay.
I think the challenges aren't bad if they're actually not the same challenge in every single episode.
One per episode.
So, where are we up to? Question 31. We're going through these quickly. So is a good player of Survivor. Strongly agree. Agree. Neither disagree. Editing on Survivor to showcase the entire cast has improved over the years. Now,
Strongly disagree.
Well, 22% said that. 31% said disagree. So they don't strongly disagree. They only disagree. Meanwhile, 22.89% neither agree or disagree, while only 5% strongly agreed. I'm getting lost in all these answers.
This is actually a dumb question because it's not even a matter of opinion. It actually has gone down in showing the cast. It's not even a matter of opinion. It's a fact. So it should have been, do you like that it's done that?
Just leave the questions alone, all right? Just like I wrote these quickly, so just shut up.
Start again.
Start again. Filming locations of Survivor are too similar and not diverse anymore.
Strongly agree.
Well, 36% strongly agree.
Actually, I think I just agree.
Well,
strongly.
You'd be in the majority. 39% agreed, while 1% strongly disagree. They think they're too diverse now. What show are you watching, guys?
Well, these are the people who started watching this year.
Yes, exactly. Oh, they're different. They're all
I've seen Gabon and Tocantins and Australia. They're all different.
The people have just seen like those ones. The location of a season is as important as the casting. 27% agree, 24% disagree, 24.03% strongly agree, 9% strongly disagree, and 14% neither agree or disagree.
I disagree with that.
I don't know. It used to be.
But you said just as important, as if the location
as important, not
we're
just.
in Nicaragua is just as important as John and Jacqueline and Jeremy and Val being on the show.
Well, I think now, like, in all honesty, having watched it from the beginning, in that majority, that, you know, as much, like, now the excitement factor really exists on what's the twist going to be, you know, and, like...
where are they going to go for the fourth time?
What returning, you know, you never really give two shits about the location. Like, I'm not going to spoil where the locations are for 33 and 34, but that's been spoiled, and it's kind of like you find out and you're just like, meh, okay. And even when Cambodia was announced, you were like, oh, new location, but you weren't like, oh, that's like amazing. But I remember back in the day, like, it was like, oh, Australia, oh, Africa, you know, Thailand, and like, they were just so cool. You were so excited. Botswana. Whereas nowadays, you just kind of like, yeah, don't really care about the location anymore because it is the same essentially every season. So that's just my
So if you don't care, then you wouldn't agree that it's...
Well, I think nowadays it isn't, but, you know, 10 years ago it was.
Strongly agree with that statement.
Okay. Now, this one I was surprised, because I'm in the strongly agree for this one, and I'm not in the majority, I'm in the second majority. Survivor should do a season in the cold or snow. 30.6%.
Oh, I'm on the disagree.
Well, 30.6% strongly disagree, 21% strongly agree, and then we kind of have a middle there. So most people on this one strongly agreed or strongly disagreed.
Actually, I'm in the neither here nor there category, actually.
I just think once. Do it once. It's probably not going to work, and it might not turn out, but I would like to see it.
Yeah, but would it be good, though?
Well, I mean, you could make it good. Was it Norway or Sweden? One of they did one, and I think they said it worked out fairly
They did
okay.
one.
But, I mean, just once, and, like, that would make it
Well,
memorable.
maybe it would eliminate balancing challenges because it would be too slippery for them. So
But, like-
I strongly agree.
But, like, in terms of, like, locations, like, you know, there are still places that haven't been. I mean, they've never done a season in Europe. You know, like, there's plenty of Mediterranean islands they could do it in. Like, come back to Australia, do it in Tasmania. Like, even, like, I know technically they've done North America because they've, you know, Nicaragua and Guatemala are sort of technically America's North America. But, like,
Isn't that Central?
well, yeah, but I mean, it's bordering on the, like, if you're saying it's North or South America in terms of a continent, it's more North America than South America. But it's kind
I'm
of like,
going to click neither here nor there. For that.
well, it's like Oceania. Like, Australia's the continent, but, you know, what continent's the Cook Islands part of? Well, technically none, but it's in the Oceania region. But, like, do a Mexican season. Do, like, you know, even, like, as silly as it sounds, like, you're not going to film in America, well, they might when they lose money, but, like, Hawaii, Alaska, there you go. Then you've ticked it off. So, it's a possibility. Who knows?
I think they're scared of smoke monsters.
I think they are. An old school season of Survivor with no gimmicks and stripped back to how it was played in the first two seasons would be an entertaining season to see in a modern format. Very diverse answers for this one. What do
I'm
you
going to
think?
lose a lot of fans here, but disagree.
Well, disagree, 22%. Strongly disagree, 22%. Agree, 24%. Strongly agree, 17%. And neither agree nor disagree, 12%. So very spread out, that one.
Very divided. I disagree because it's something that people always say, do this, do this. If it happened, you just know it. Fans would be complaining, oh, this is boring. People would just find things to complain about.
Well, they try to do it in Tocantins slightly, and it, you know, I mean, to me, Tocantins
Well, people say that, but I never really subscribe to that because that still feels like a middle old newy type thing.
I just think in terms of gimmicks, like, that's a gimmick in itself. Completely old school, no twist, no
Yeah, and
changes.
people would complain about it.
Well, people complain about everything. I mean, fuck, they would complain if they put every single person in the world on something. No, it's too many people. I get to play, but I don't want to.
Well, that would be a lot of people, to be fair to those people.
The show is far too reliant on hidden immunity idols.
I'm interested on this.
Well, the majority said disagree, 29.38%. 24% agreed. The middle answer, neither agree nor disagree. 16% strongly disagreed, and 10% strongly agreed. I thought that one was going to be a lot more in the agree, to be honest.
Yeah, like 80 agree.
Interesting.
I think I'm the neither here nor there.
The show is more entertaining to watch now than 10 years ago.
Well, we know the answer to that one because we did the old school, middle school, new school.
Well, 34% neither agree nor disagree. 26%,
Make up your mind!
26% strongly agree, 25% agree, 9% disagree, and 3% strongly disagree. So, again, but you make up your mind.
That's the people this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have put neither here nor there on this.
I just like to confuse our listeners. So that's Survivor fans love that. Now this one, I am on the strongly agree page, and strongly agree got the lowest for this one. That goes to show my opinions. The jury should be sequestered at Ponderosa so that players do not have an opportunity to discuss the game, who they are voting for. 33%
Agreed.
33% disagreed. Funnily enough, 21% strongly disagreed. So the majority of people really disagree with that. They think it's fine, which surprises me.
Well, I like Ponderosa video.
Well, that's true, but again, you would have a more closer vote, I think. So, just what I think.
So, she wasn't on the
Now, actually, going along with the Jeff Probst one, this to me was also the biggest shock of this entire poll. Question 39. The player who wins is always the best player of the season. Now, we always get people going off and debating about our opinions. Always. And there's the perennial argument, the player who wins is the best because they got the most votes in the end, and that's the purpose of Survivor.
You have to say it like, no.
Well, 43% disagree that the player who wins is always the best player of the season. A huge majority. because second best was
Blindside.
strongly disagree, and the lowest percentage was strongly agree. So all the fans out there who go off at us didn't vote in this poll. And no, I did not click on this poll 383 times to make us right.
That really does surprise me, and it's an internal, eternal, not internal, eternal debate amongst Survivor fans, and there's no right or wrong answer. But people are very stubborn on the fact that if you win, you have to be the best, no matter what. How dare you have a fun conversation about this show? You're wrong. So it's very surprising. Sorry, I'm sounding like a really grumpy old man here, but that is very surprising.
Very surprising. That was another answer too. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, 26%.
The Sims answer.
Commissionada. The current the current jury system. Sims are huge in Botswana. The current jury system is the best. They just got Sims 1.
Uncalled for.
I like Sims 1. It's a good game.
I like Sims Buster now.
Will Sims 2 busting out. The current jury system is the best and most fair way to decide the winner of Survivor. Well, 0.34
Strongly agree.
Well, 0.34% strongly disagree. Only 3 people. But 429 people, 48% said strongly agree. So there you go. I don't think there's much really.
No other way. Was that Russell Hantz who answered that? Strongly
He
disagree.
voted 3 times. Him, Coach, and Sash. The show has far too many returning player seasons. 32% disagree. I reckon if we asked this question 3 years ago, we would have had a very different answer.
3 years ago.
But obviously now we've kind of bucked that trend a little bit. So 32% disagree, and 30% neither agree nor disagree. So there you go. Seasons featuring entirely new players are more exciting than seasons featuring returning players. 43% neither agree or disagree. So people didn't want to make their mind up.
Wow, breaking new ground. Yeah.
20%, interestingly enough, disagreed, and only 15% strongly agreed. So people wanting, again, not making their minds up. Question 4.
Where do you stand? Because I'm unsure on that. Because I like both. I like seeing old favourites back as well as new people.
Yeah, I agree. I love seeing them come back. I'm not huge on mixing the both up. I like all returning playing seasons, but again, I'm not as high up on Cambodia as a large majority of people are. I'm not saying it's a bad season; it's a middle season before anybody does, pulls a Noah. Oh, you hate the season. But I guess I just felt I wasn't as excited during Cambodia as I was during All Stars and Heroes Villains. So, is that the caliber of player? I don't know, but. Look, yeah, I mean, I like seeing new player seasons because it's good to get new people out there that we can say, oh, this person would be great to play again. But again, as you said, like, it's great to see, somebody come back and play for a second, third, fourth, fucking fifth time if Rupert comes back again. So,
I also feel like we are definitely past the halfway point, and I think it's still got a few more years in it. It's not going away anytime soon, but I feel like it is going to go away soon, as in, 5, 6, 7 years, and it's great to see some new people, but there are definitely some people out there that I want to see at least play one more time before it's all wrapped up and said and done.
Well, maybe you'll find out in an answer soon how many more years people think Survivor will keep going. That's coming soon on Survivor Oz.
After this break.
After these short messages, download 007.com, which isn't a website. That's something Ben made up. It's actually 007.wordpress.com. We should put ads in the middle of our episodes advertising our other shows.
Do you like Eurovision?
No.
Are you better than Boggy? No. Well, you could learn about it. No.
Did you used to listen to 007 but now listen to Spectre, etc.? Well, we want you back. Are you sick of hearing Spectre, etc.? Rip off 007? Then download this.
Do you want to learn about losing weight? Well, bringing sexy back Oz is just for you.
Do you like this theme? Download our Star Wars reaction episode from last year. It contains spoilers.
Oh, and we're back.
And that was a good ad break.
I hate ads.
Fucking hate them. We're going to be like the Super Bowl, actually, and charge like $1 million for 30 seconds. But we realised...
If you give us money, we will eliminate the ads from... It's an ad-free subscription of
Or the
Survivor
opposite. If you're willing to give us $1 million, we will put ads in this episode.
Yeah.
Like anything. We will advertise anything. Even, like, we'll advertise cigarettes. Like, nobody advertises cigarettes anymore. But, you know, like the ones that make
that sweet, sweet nicotine.
ones that make you stop smoking, of course. Anyway.
I'm just practicing.
You like seeing...
Anti-cigarette.
Anti-cigarettes, yes. You like seeing old twists return, such as Fans vs. Favourites and Blood
I
vs.
thought
Water.
this was an ad. You sound like a... Do you like seeing old season?
Do you like seeing? Well, then open your eyes.
New eye-opening clams coming soon. Order now, and we'll give you a free steak knife.
We're doing all these from the Survivor Wiki School of Ads. Do you like walking? Then you can use your legs. Because, like most people...
Then open the door.
Your legs will walk you from one room to the other. That is a fact from Survivor Wiki.
Order now, and we'll give you a free steak knife. Snake knife?
knife.
That'd be scary.
You like a snake knife? It's bit me, Mum. I chopped the
Snake knife.
cheese.
That doesn't sound very safe.
Anyway, back to our...
Do you like venom? Alright.
Do you like
Moving
being
on.
alive?
That's the ad break.
Then breathe.
New air in a can. Order now, and you get a free snake knife.
Conditions
Alright.
apply.
That's enough ads for one episode.
Do not operate you while drunk.
Do you like Ponzi schemes? Then we know the guy for you.
You like seeing old twists return, such as Fans vs. Favourites and Blood vs. Water. 35%. Excuse me. 35. Serious. This is a very serious episode of Survivor Oz.
This is revealing important information.
35%. Goodness me, this is why we don't record for a month.
Do you like breathing? Yes, we'll do it. Breathe.
Do you like recording professional podcasts? Then listen to Rob Has a Podcast. Not
Rob Has a
Survivor.
Podcast.
Oh, God. 35% agree that they like seeing old twist returns, such as Fans vs. Favourites and Blood vs. Water. 14 strongly agree.
Rudy.
And 20% neither agree nor disagree. Interesting. I thought maybe people wouldn't like repeat twists, but obviously I don't know that because...
Well, what are you thinking here?
In what context?
Like medallion of power? Like it's a very
Oh,
vague
right.
question.
Well, such as... I thought you were like asking me a very personal question there. Returns such as Fans vs. Favourites and Blood vs. Water. So not necessarily... Who wants to see the medallion of power return? Like, anyone?
Second check.
I don't think Jeff Probst wants to see the medallion of power return.
I'm on board for another Blood vs. Water. What are your thoughts on Fans vs. Favourites season 36?
Done. Go away. I'm over it. Because, I mean, last Fans vs. Favourites was shit, and they weren't really favourites. Like, I'm not...
Or fans.
Or fans, exactly. Like, it was just like...
It was the complete opposite of what the twist was.
It'd be like Brains versus Brawns versus Beauty, putting a bunch of fat people on the Brawns, like putting a bunch of non-attractive people
Or
on
just fat people all around.
Hey, that's not true. I would be on the Beauty tribe. Thank you very much.
It's like having a Blood vs. Water season where they're not related to each other.
They're just
They
random...
don't even never met.
Blood vs. Water,
That's what Fans vs.
Stranger
Favourites
Edition.
2 was like. That's what it was like.
Didn't they do that in The Amazing Race? Wasn't that
Word
the blind date?
fantastic.
Survivor.
That was
blind date.
So his favourite.
Oh, God, we're only about...
Oh, don't even joke. Don't give them ideas. CBS, if you're listening, turn off now.
That's the one that you shouldn't take from us. We're only about 3 seasons away from the social media stars edition of Survivor. Oh, goodness. All right, Question 44. You would like to see more seasons where the viewers get a choice to vote players back on the show. Well, 44% strongly agree with this. Very much so, strongly agree. We'll see that within a year. I reckon. I honestly think we're going to see that. Now, this was a stupid question to ask because if we didn't get a huge majority like this, then I would be worried for the people who took this poll. Survivor is the greatest reality TV show of all time. 1.25% strongly disagree. So they're all fans of Dance
I thought they were
Mums.
doing a poll on the band.
The band.
Where are the questions on Eye of the Tiger?
79% strongly agree. So, good on you, listeners. 11 of you who strongly disagree. Shame on you. Question number 46. So this is the last one before we kind of get into like just the favourite, the last two questions, which are the favourites. How many more years do you see Survivor continuing for? So Noah, you kind of touched on that before. What did you say for this one? More than 10, 5 to 10, 1 to 5, or less than 1?
5 to 10, then a hiatus for a few years, then it will come back. I can't see it being in its current state over 10 years. I just don't see it.
It screams Netflix revival after like 2 years. I mean, this is a show. Like if they're bringing,
it will be back.
If they're bringing back fucking Gilmore Girls, like Survivor will get cancelled and this will come back. Like, come on, people. We're in.
It's cheap. It's easy to sell. It's the kind of show that you could make in any kind of format. You don't have to have Jeff Probst. You could film it in America. It will be back eventually, but its current state, I'm not sure how much longer it's. But it will never die.
How old is Harrison Ford in Star Wars Force Awakens? Like, if they can get him back in his 70s to play Han Solo again, I mean, Jeff Probst will be pulled out at like 80 going, Survivor's ready! So...
And he'll still look the same.
He will, exactly. Well, 50.5% reckon it's going to be around for more than 10 years. So that's good news for us. We're going to be doing this for a while, Noah. 5 to 10...
Right.
37% great. 12% 1 to 5. And interestingly enough, 0 people responded less than 1. So good. We're going to be around for a bit. Fucking oath, that sucks.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, more than 10. It's whether I don't think it's going to be on CBS.
More than 10.
Well, I don't reckon it'll be on CBS forever. You know, as you said, in its current form, maybe 5 to 10, but after it goes, I reckon it's going to get picked up by another channel, Netflix, something, even just an online thing. Like, Survivor's a show that will just be around in some capacity forever, just like reality TV. So, you know,
if you put it into this context, Jeff Probst is like around 10 years from normal retirement age. So there's a time, and I think at this time, if you ask this question 15 seasons ago, maybe not, but at this time, if Jeff Probst is gone, I think Survivor is too.
Yeah, I'd probably... Yeah.
Plus, does Mark Burnett even know about Survivor?
What's that show again that we used to do, Jeff?
Survivor? I'm talking about the Bible.
My remake of Ben-Hur. 14 years it took to make another Australian version. Yeah. So, look, you know, never say never again.
Oh.
And don't talk about the movie. Question 47 was, what is your favourite season of all time? So people are kind of like, well, this is a question you ask in your Oscar poll. Well, that's what do you think the greatest season of all time is? This is just your favourite. We wanted to just kind of get an opinion of the people out there, what their favourites is. And I just realised I spelt Worlds Apart.
Is it really different?
I just realised I spelt Worlds Apart with 2 A's. So I spelled it AAPART. So Worlds Apart. Is how I spelt it.
Is it a pun? Because it was a part.
Apparently. So I'll give you the top 10.
Shall I guess?
I'll go from 10 to 1. Shall I go from 10 to 1? Do you want to guess?
Yeah, but as you start with 10, I'll guess the 10, then you get the answer, then we'll go 9.
Okay, well, what do you think will come in 10th?
Unsure. No, I'm going to say Vanuatu.
Vanuatu did not make the top 10 at all, sadly. 10th, Tocantins. Tocantins! How? 2%. Well, it was a very well spread out poll, but this one's going to make a few people angry. What do you think came in at 9th?
Oh, yeah, you need to give me little teasers to help me. So it's going to make people angry. Sam Mundelso.
All Stars came in at 9th.
Good
on you, people. I'm happy with that.
That's very surprising.
8th. Well, this one's surprising. Probably, given where it usually finishes on our Oscar poll, thought it would be higher than this, but it's only 8th. What do you think?
Cagayan.
Australian Outback came in at 8th.
Ooh.
Again, similar here.
Still always in the top 10.
Well, this one here, 7th, always in the top 10, but again, often makes our top 5 on our Oscar poll. What do you think, 7?
Micronesia.
China, 5.5%.
Still always top 10.
This has got to be the biggest shock of it all. If somebody said that this would be in the top 10, let alone the top 6, I would laugh in their face. So you've got a few there, because this is often in people's bottom 5.
Fiji.
Correct. 6th, Fiji.
I got one.
7.2.
That is very surprising.
Huge. I'm happy with that.
Poll votes, or did Papa Smurf vote a lot?
I reckon just Papa Smurf did. 5th, perennial top 5 getter. Never won our Oscar for this, but often regarded as one of the greatest seasons of all time.
This has got to be Micronesia.
Nope. Pearl Islands, 5th, 9%.
Pearl Islands hasn't made the top, hasn't it?
Never won it. I think it's finished second or third a couple of times. It's never won.
It's worthy of winning.
4th, there's really no way of teasing this. Just very new season.
Cagayan.
Cambodia, coming in at the 4th favourite.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that one.
Yes, that season just happened. So our top 3 in 3rd place.
I hate it, apparently.
Third place, again, always in the top 3.
Micronesia.
Yes, 3rd. 2nd, controversial winner of our Oscar a couple of years ago, but as we said, give it a couple of years and it'll still be in the top 2. Yes. And number 1, runaway winner.
And we were right.
19% Heroes Villains. Just quickly down the bottom, Redemption Island only got 3 votes. Shame on you 3 people. Nicaragua, second
3
last.
votes? Too much.
Worlds Apart, 3rd last. South Pacific, 1 world. Shame on you, people. Panama, very low, 24th. Africa, very low, 26th. And Borneo, 18th in terms of favourites. So, yeah, Gabon.
Let's go on.
Gabon, 12th. Cook Islands, 11th. Fuck off.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, in terms of, we then asked, who is your favourite Survivor contestant of all time? Now, I had so many people messaging me, this person's not on the list.
Where's Chris Doherty?
Where's this person? No, we just put 459 up. We didn't want to put Chris Doherty up there, folks. Like, we didn't think he deserved
This
to be
one
voted
did
for.
hurt my head to look at all these names, though.
Well, I couldn't just...
Like, where the hell is Eve?
All right, I'm not going to have you guess. I'm just going to go from 20 to 1. I missed that show. I'm Bert Newton for the next few minutes.
Number 20.
21, actually. Keith Nail. Noah. Nearly made the top 20, Keith. So, very, very
I
close.
voted Keith.
Jerry Manthey in
Legit,
22nd.
I voted Keith.
22nd for Jerry Manthey. Shame. All right, 20th place, Malcolm Freeberg, 1.25% of the vote. PG Law, 19th, 1.25% of the vote. Tyson, next. Then Aussie, it comes in at 17th. Todd makes it into the top 16. Well done. Oh, God, there's always people in these lists that people go, why are they in there? Edgardo Rivera at 15th.
Oh, and Fiji at number 6. People are really
we know,
turning around on their gut.
We know which Fiji person get voting in this poll. Hello,
I like Edgardo.
I like Edgardo too, but this is we're gonna get complaints about this. Jonathan Penner in at 14th position. Now he actually said when he went off at Colin for our poll, if you voted for the most popular, I would be up there. Well, he is 14th. It wouldn't be a Survivor Oz poll of ranking anybody if Mike Barassi didn't make a top part. 13th.
Oh, always that.
Mike Barassi. He really loves voting in our polls. Thanks, Mike. Courtney Yates makes it into 12th. Well done. Randy Bailey, 11th. Then into our top 10. So the top 10 most popular contestants in terms of people who voted in our poll, at least. Cass McQuillan, Noah's favourite, in at 10th. Good job. Russell Hance, only 9th, but still makes the top 10. He will be happy with that. Tony, in at 8th.
I love Tony.
7th for Spencer. So he beats Tony. Well, actually, he got the same amount of votes as Tony. So there you go.
Good job, Spencer Doom. It's about time you got recognition.
6th position to Kelly Wentworth. Now, obviously, off the back of quite a popular season for her. So she's ranked very high. 5th position, Boston Rob. comes in there, just beaten out by the Rob who sucks, Rob Sesternino, or as Cable would say, Rob Sestranino, 4th position. But the top 3 most popular contestants in the history of Survivor, all female contestants too, girl power. Sari Fields, 3rd
Kim,
position.
Parvati, and Sari.
Well, no. Sari in at 3rd, Sandra in at 2nd, and Parvati, the most popular
Kim.
contestant, Kim Spradlin, didn't even make the top 20. Now, if I'm to find her on the list, she finished in 47th position, just below Yul Kwon and just ahead of Bryce Johnston. So... Exactly. So...
Well, I guess it's popular, not best player.
Exactly. So this is, yes, popular player. But some interesting results there, Noah, and we managed to go through these 48 questions fairly quickly. Huge standouts there, I guess. In anything?
Are we talking this whole episode?
Yeah, this episode. What was your favourite part of the episode? Not the quotes.
The ad break.
Yeah, I like that too. That was my favourite.
The biggest surprise for me... I can't remember it now. It was a big surprise, though, at the time.
That's what people are saying about this episode. Oh, what? What did I just listen to? What
was that one that I said was a big surprise?
This isn't the tribe.
The middle school, old school, or new school one, I think. Because I always thought I was in the minority with loving the middle school.
Well, you're not. You're in the majority. So you're not a hipster anymore, Noah. You're a trend. You're in the commercial side of things. You know, you've gone from Triple J to Hit 100.9. So
I feel like there weren't any too big surprises, but there were also a lot of like 40-40-20 type things. So what we've learned is we've learned nothing.
Yeah, exactly. The moral of this story, kids, we have no idea what the fuck any of these results mean. It was something that we did to engage in people while we weren't on air for a while. And then it took us another extra week to record an episode to bring you the results. So Zachary's happy. He's got his results.
We could tag the article in with Survivor Tweet or Jeff Probst. They won't see it, but it's still some interesting stuff.
Yes. Jeff Probst has replied to us once when he won an award from us. So
Did he? What did he say?
When he won the Oscar for Lifetime Achievement. He said, "Thanks, guys. So honoured." So there you go.
That really made his year.
It did. He talks about that all the time. He
was going to quit Survivor until he saw that.
He was on the last legs. He woke up going, "I can't do this anymore. I cannot host this show anymore. Wow, I won a Lifetime Achievement Award from Survivor Oz. Sign me a new contract, Mark."
Did you send him his award?
I sent it to CBS and it came back.
They sent it back?
It said wrong address. And then I tried to send it again and it happened again. I reckon they just looked at it and gone, "Survivor Oz, no, fuck off." Oh, yes. True story, actually.
This is back and forth with his Lifetime Achievement.
I can't handle the pressure of being a Lifetime Achiever. Thank you.
Send it back.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in to this episode. It was there. This won't be remembered.
Who said we don't have episodes in between seasons?
This won't be remembered in about 2 weeks' time. So, yeah, hopefully this killed a good hour on your lunch break. We're just around the corner.
I'm looking forward to the best of 2016 to hear some clips from this episode. Zachary Chong is sitting at his computer waiting for December 2016.
I'm going to be mentioned in the best of episode. Survivor Co. Wrong starting soon. So we'll talk about that. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, SurvivorOz.com. Jump on there and check us out because that's where we are. Noah, thank you for your company on this episode.
Thank you. I feel like I have a whole fresh new outlook on Survivor now. Like it's just changed my life.
I'm going to be watching Co. Wrong with different perspective now.
I'll be like, hey, everyone watching this is 3 years old.
Yes.
And they're from Botswana.
All our listeners in Botswana, thank you for tuning in.
And they really want a cold season. They want this cold season.
They're so sick of being hot in Botswana. They want to see what snow looks like. But yes, thank you again for tuning in. This has been Survivor Oz. The tribe has spoken. We will speak to you next time on the Botswanian Trains.